with the Asai tea, you can get powdered Asai tea, and you can get it in a lot of health food stores. And what we did is we took the powder. You get a gallon of fresh spring water and a pot that will hold a gallon of water, and you put that gallon of water in the pot, and then you put 12 tablespoons full of the Asai tea powder in the pan and mix it up real good. Now this is how we did it, and it worked. It was very strong. Mix it up real good and bring it to a boil for about 10 or 15 minutes. And if the water starts to go down in that pot that you have the gallon of water in, you can add just a little bit of water to it, but bring it to a boil for 10 or 15 minutes. And then, stir it, keep stirring it, and then you let it sit overnight. Cover it up and let it sit overnight. And then the next morning, you turn the heat on it again and bring it to a boil again, 10 to 15 minutes, stirring it. And then you let it sit and let it cool, and then put it in a gallon jug and put it in the refrigerator. And then every day, take about a half a coffee cup full of the Asai tea every day. And you can get a little filter. Don't filter out the powder or anything. You can just shake it up each time before you drink it, and just pour you half a coffee cup full and drink it every day. And I guarantee if you got something going on in your body, over a period of time, a week, you're going to feel a big difference. So sometimes drink the whole gallon, and sometimes you even need to make another gallon and drink it. And so it just depends. You're going to know. You're going to know. You'll be passing things out of your body and stuff like that, so you'll know. Also, I want to tell you about another thing, too, that I came across just recently. Well, not real recently, but I'm going to put a link up here to a book called How to Fight Cancer and Win by William L. Fisher. And I'll put a link up here where you can get that book. This is another book that you need to get if you're at all able to do so. It talks about this Dr. Johanna Budwig, and she made this formula. I forget what year it was, some time ago, and she started doing studies on it with her patients. Very simple formula, very natural formula, and she was going about how the body does with natural things, and what kind of things that you need to put in your body to fight certain things. So this is another cancer treatment. Not only cancer, but it's good for everything. But what it is raw, cold-pressed, unrefined linseed oil or flaxseed oil. Same thing. But you have to get the raw, cold-pressed, unrefined flaxseed oil. It won't work with any other kind. And then also low-fat cottage cheese. And it has to say low-fat cottage cheese because there's a certain percentage of milk fat in different kinds of, cottage cheese. And it has to be the correct percent of milk fat in order to be combined with the flaxseed in order to do what it's supposed to do. So keep those two things in mind, that you have to get the exact thing I'm telling you. Raw, cold-pressed, unrefined flaxseed oil. And low-fat cottage cheese, and it has to say low-fat on the container, cottage cheese. So what you do with this is you take 1 to 2 tablespoons of flaxseed oil that I told you about, and you mix it with 1/2 to 1 cup of this cottage cheese. Mix it up real good where it's really blended, and eat it every day, every single day, continuously. Continue to take it even though you feel better, because it's a good thing. Even when you're healed of the cancer or whatever, it's still a good thing to take to stay healthy. So continue to take it. And this has been proven all through this book that I told you about. I'll put a link up. It talks about people all through the book. And it's good for cancer. It's good for arteriosclerosis, which is a hardening of the arteries, like I was talking about, the plaque being built up in the arteries, which a lot of heart attacks are caused by, and a bunch of stuff, bunch of problems like that. Cholesterol, high cholesterol, triglyceride levels, things like that. It's good for that. And good for strokes, heart attacks, irregular heartbeats. It maintains the flexibility of red blood cells. It does a lot more than I'm even mentioning. It's good for liver problems, for gallbladder problems, for fatty degeneration of the liver, for the lungs, people that have problems with their lungs, and regulates activity of the intestines. It normalizes gastric juices, which is good for, stomach ulcers, and good for prostate problems, arthritis, assists in all kinds of skin disorders. It strengthens the activity of the brain. It improves many common afflictions that go along with old age. Helps with immune deficiency, and like cancer or multiple sclerosis or autoimmune diseases, just everything. This natural, simple little thing that the Lord put in the heart of this woman to check it out, and she would check it out with her patients and do blood tests on them, and would show how tumors were shrunk and gone away, and just all kinds of stuff. You need to get this book if you can, about how to fight cancer and when. Because I've heard so many people, that are really having all this problem with cancer and brain tumors, brain cancer, and everything else, I would encourage you to try these things, They're natural. They're natural things. But I will say that, in your own heart, you really need to ask the Lord, because, like I said, herbs and pharmaceuticals do not mix. You had to decide, and speak to the Lord about it and everything, and, decide that, yeah, I know this is what God wants me to do. I know this is what the Lord wants me to do, and He'll help you do it. He'll help you do it. But I do encourage people that they do want to do this, to not cold turkey off of medications such as heart medication and stuff like that, but just gradually wean yourself off as you start taking these things like cayenne and hawthorn berry, and doing this treatment with the flaxseed oil and cottage cheese, and then you go back to the doctor, and he'll tell you himself, that you're getting better, or that your cholesterol levels are down, and triglyceride, all these things are becoming normal. And why? It's because you're doing these natural things. So it's hard to kind of stuff all this in a little bit, but I'll be doing this all along and bringing out some other things that I believe the Lord wants His people to know. And there's another herb called ginkgo biloba, and it is very good for brain function. And like I said earlier, you know, I had made up a tincture of cayenne with my uncle. I had been doing that for a while. And you can also do that and learn how to make your own tinctures and get your herbs from a mail order place, or it's best to have organic herbs, and you can get them in powders or bulk, however, and there's many ways, you know, there's many things that show you how to make a tincture, and if you want more information on that, I can give it to you. You know, there's ways that they'll show you how to do it.